Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Glad to have everybody here. So, we are going to be doing some updates on the Tropics here for everybody regarding the severe weather event regarding the Tropics activity we are seeing here. I'm used to talking about severe weather, and finally things have kind of quieted down in the severe weather, severe weather side of things. But the Tropics are going crazy. They are going crazy here, and like I said, we are watching, as you probably heard from the thumbnail here, or from the title here. I think this might have potential to become the first major hurricane. I really do, of the Atlantic hurricane season. But anyways, what's going on, everybody? Let's go and see who we have for today for the live stream. We got ourselves Haley. Let's see, we have Mark, Kala, Finn. Let's see who else we got hanging around here. We got TRG. We have Henry. Let's see, W Gaming. Let's see, Barbara. We have Albert, Mario, Death Star. Let's see, Ricky, Earthball, Bomb Hills. What's up, everybody? Once again, hope everyone's having an amazing day so far. So we did have Tropical Storm. What was this one? Honestly forgot. There's so many names out of these storms here. I honestly forgot the name of this one. One just made, it's Harold, that's right, Harold, that made landfall across portions of southern Texas this morning. I was going to cover this morning, but honestly, I did not really see the need to be live for this here. We did have a couple tornado warnings, but I don't think any of those materialized to drop any tornadoes. So obviously this morning we did have ourselves, that tropical system. Still, as you can see, there is still a lot of rainfall associated with it. It's starting to move its way into portions of like northern Mexico right now. But yeah, we still have a little bit of, little bit of rain that is obviously still in portions of Texas, out there towards like Crystal City region, portions here like Rock Springs. We're seeing kind of some moderate heavy rainfall in some areas, which they mostly need it. They really do need that for sure. Considering that the amount of drought that they're in here, it's crazy. Like I said, any part of Texas could use some rain right now. But anyways, let's see. What's up, Earthball? Hope you're doing good. Let's see, how am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Hope you're doing good yourself. Once again, thank y'all for joining. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Let's go ahead and help you guys over here to the Tropics. So this is a guy we really need to be looking out for. We have two other areas here out in the Atlantic for possible development here. We're going to keep those on the back burner for now. But this guy, yeah, obviously we had ourselves Harold that rolled his way through portions here, of southern Texas this morning. Still got those tropical storm warnings in effect here. It probably will not last too much longer, considering the storm's no longer a tropical storm here. It still could be, it still could be a little gusty though. We're talking, max gusts up to around 45 being possible. So we're still talking pretty gusty winds, but for the most part, it's just rain at this point. That's kind of the same it was on landfall. I was not expecting too many crazy impacts out of this system, which overall, was not terrible. It's stuff that they've seen before in their time being. Anyways, but this guy, this is the one we got to look out here for. This is Tropical Storm Franklin here. Currently, sustained winds of around 40 miles per hour. It seems like the models have really downtrended the amount of intensity this storm is going to have as it makes its way towards Dominican Republic and Haiti. It is expected to make landfall between the Dominican Republic and Haiti for tomorrow morning. We're going to need to watch out for this. I might actually go live for this one because, like I said, a lot of catastrophic flooding is expected for portions of Dominican Republic as well as Haiti. We're going to have to watch out for this guy. But we're also going to have to keep an eye on it as it passes through Dominican Republic. As you can see, this thing is expected to be a long-lived tropical storm, and then at the end of its cone, it does become a hurricane. Now, the reason I say this thing could become a major hurricane is because it does not seem that there's any limiting factors, hardly any limiting factors at all for rapid development. And on top of that, a lot of models are supporting this as well. It's not like one model. I mean, the European model, the GFS model support this thing possibly going into major hurricane status later down in its life cycle. Also, the main models regarding the main hurricane models, like the spaghetti plots and everything like that. So those models are also graphed for intensity, and it really looks like we could be seeing ourselves a big threat out there, a potential, I should say, of it becoming a little bit more stronger than what we're looking at. But anyways, yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on it. I'm going to go ahead and switch you guys over here to the main screen for a second. So here is the latest, spaghetti models. They look a lot better than they did yesterday. I mean, yesterday they were not agreeing with each other at all. We're going to see, we're going to start to see this thing continue to move its way up here to the north. Once again, it's going to slam portions of Dominican Republic and Haiti here for basically tomorrow morning. It looks like then the storm's going to continue to roll through. It should keep intact here for the most part. Then it's going to continue, kind of turn to the northeast here, go mostly east for a little bit, and then it's going to get a sharp north push here, which could lead its way near Bermuda. Now, Bermuda should keep an eye out for this because it's possible. It's possible that Bermuda could have either some direct or indirect effects. What I mean by direct effects is, it's still not determined if the storm will go right over to Bermuda. And what I mean by indirect, it could cause some wave issues, rip currents, all that stuff. I think indirect or either direct or indirect impacts is possible. So we're going to need to look out there for that, over the next little bit. Once again, the models have this thing. I mean, it goes relatively near Bermuda. I'm pretty sure that's Bermuda right here. It's kind of hard to see, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Bermuda. For right now, the models do kind of have this thing remaining slightly to the west of Bermuda, but like I said, obviously this is really far down in the forecast line. This could easily change here, which we definitely need to look out there for it. But look at this. Whenever it comes to the intensity guidance here, they go pretty crazy in the long run. So obviously, we're going to be seeing ourselves, we're right at the tropical storm, standpoint. It's going to weaken ever so slightly, and then after it pulls away from Puerto Rico as well as Haiti, not Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Well, Puerto Rico could get a little bit of effects out of this as well. Dominican Republic and Haiti, once it passes those regions, it's going to start to gradually increase in intensity. You can see some of these models have this thing going, uptrending pretty quickly. And like I said, some of the main models we're going to look at here too does support the possibility here for, like I said, this thing, possibility becoming, at least a Cat 3, which we'll have to see how that plays out. Once again, it's still not a for sure thing, but I think that the environment is very conducive for the possibility of that being a potential, way out of the system here. So we're going to have to keep an eye out there for it. Let's see here. Everything's named after... Ricky says everything's named after food. The spaghetti plot and the sandwich satellite. Yep, we got sandwich. Oh my gosh. That's funny. I really didn't even think about that, but you're right. You really are. Anyways, we're going to go and hop you guys over here to the models because this is what I really wanted to show you guys here overall. Let's see. GFS. I got to zoom this out. It's way too far zoomed in here. So we're going to take a look here at the North Atlantic. So obviously we have a lot of depressions, or not depressions, well, some depressions. We have a lot of, basically areas of low pressure systems that we're watching here for possible development. I mean, we got these guys out here, really not expecting really to do much out of those ones. But look at this. So this guy right here, this one is Franklin. The one right here, you can see this is the one we're paying attention to. We work our way down in time here. This goes right over portions here of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. You can kind of see it stalls a little bit, kind of goes slightly east, and then it starts really pulling north. Now, according to the GFS model, I mean, this thing gets relatively strong. As you can actually see here, I mean, we're talking really potentially strong system here. I mean, this model, the GFS, shows this thing getting into the 960 millibar zone, which that is right around Cat 3, which would be considered a major hurricane here. It looks like rapid development will occur out of the system here. I mean, it's actually pretty, pretty crazy. Later on down in its life cycle, we're going to go ahead and drop to the previous model here. You can see how it's really expected to kick up in activity here. This is kind of showing right here for right around 8 p.m. Eastern time for the 27th, so this is still about 5 days out or so, but you can see it. There's Bermuda right there. It does get kind of close according to the GFS model. As you can see, maybe even being impacted, according to the GFS model, by maybe some tropical storm, maybe up to hurricane force. We'll see. Once again, this is something to take with a grain of salt right now, but we are seeing that possibility. We are seeing that possibility, and overall continues to move its way through. Once it reaches cooler waters, it's going to weaken and kind of head out. But anyways, yeah, so it looks like it is going to undergo rapid development here, with an abundance of moisture, a lack of wind shear, which will be good for the system to gradually increase and rapidly intensify. So I think that's a good possibility. Now, we work our way over here to the European model. This is the ECMWF model, and this one is pretty similar, too. I mean, look at this thing. This thing gets it way down in the 960 millibar zone, too. I mean, you can see rapid development out of this guy. According to the European model here, you can actually see how this system remains mostly to the west of Bermuda here. It mostly remains to the west. I could have probably used a better color here, but you can see right there, that's Bermuda right in that circle. You can see this thing remains mostly west. The system remains mostly west of Bermuda, according to the European model. Now, once again, this is still not ruled out. This is still in the far track forecast here, but what I was wanting to really show you guys was the intensity factor, not necessarily the track. I mean, the track could easily still change, so can the intensity. But like I said, it really kind of looks like according to a lot of models here, we possibly could be seeing rapid strengthening here. We got another model. This is the HWRF model. We're going to take a look here back at Franklin regarding this guy. Obviously, whenever it comes to landfall here across portions here of Puerto Rico and Haiti, it's expected to be a tropical storm still. Honestly, I was expecting that to possibly get the Cat 1, but it looked like it has not organized as much as we were thinking it would by the time it reaches portions of Puerto Rico. Why do I keep saying Puerto Rico? Dominican Republic and Haiti. It looks like it's not expected to be as organized as what it once was, but once it goes through, it's going to have the conditions to rapidly intensify. So like I said, it's not only the European model, it's not only the GFS. I mean, it's also the HWRF model that shows this thing getting way down in the strength here, 960 millibar zone, which that, once again, is around the criteria of Cat 3 hurricane status. So we'll definitely have to, be looking out for this here. Absolutely. This thing could get pretty daggone strong here. So we'll need to obviously monitor the progression of the system here. I mean, look at this. According to the, the simulated infrared view, I mean, this thing actually, eventually looks like it kicks up an eye here. Let's see. Whenever it comes to another model, the HMON on Franklin here, you can actually see this model as well shows it getting down into the 960 millibar. So every model we've seen so far, the GFS, the ECMWF, the HMON, and the HWRF, all of those models do support this thing getting very strong into the 960 millibar zone. Like I said, right in that zone where we possibly could see major hurricane criteria. I think that's a good possibility. I really do think that is a chance in its longer life here. But like I said, whenever it comes to it right now regarding the system, like I said, back over here at the main track right now, it is expected to remain a tropical storm for some time. I mean, like I said, right now, it's only a tropical storm with sustained winds of 40 miles an hour with gusts getting up to 50. Like I said, this thing will continue to attract northbound. It will go over Dominican Republic once again here for tomorrow. It should make landfall right around, kind of early tomorrow morning. I'm guessing maybe around 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll see how that goes. I mean, obviously, the timing can definitely range a bit. But I'm going to try to be live for you guys tomorrow as well. Like I said, my sleep schedule's a little messed up right now, so I can't guarantee you that I will be live for this because, I have been drained with all the other coverages we've been doing lately. Hillary and in the previous few months of severe weather. It's been crazy. It's been crazy in the weather world. So I'm going to try my hardest to. I'd really like to because, like I said, they are expecting to see a lot of flooding out of this here. And actually, if I go ahead and hop you guys over here to the, the Hurricane Center, whenever it comes to the possibilities here, I'm going to go ahead and bring you all over here to, let's see, I don't think they have a precipitation outlook on this guy. I don't think so. So we're going to have to take a look at individual models, but we are expecting a lot of, accumulating rainfall. We're going to have to take a look at those here in a second. So let's go ahead and hop you guys back over here to the models real quickly. We're going to go ahead and hop over to the GFS model. We're going to go to the North Atlantic here. Once again, we're going to take this with a grain of salt just to kind of see how much rainfall we potentially could see here. So let's see your total cumulative precipitation. According to the model here, I mean, it could get pretty daggone high. You know, like some areas here over a half a foot being possible. We have to really zoom into the Caribbean here. Let's try the Western Atlantic. Here we go. Yeah, you can see some of those areas here actually get in above, according to the GFS model. Some areas there, you know, on the south central side here of the Dominican Republic, it looks like we might be in the zone of over a foot of rain potentially, you know, according to this. I mean, we're expecting a lot of, you know, water to be, you know, ingested into Dominican Republic, and maybe even areas like, you know, Puerto Rico and Haiti too could get a little bit out of this, out of some of those other bands you can kind of see. I wouldn't say much for Puerto Rico, but I'd say mostly of it's mostly going to be felt in the Dominican Republic, as well as some in Haiti as well. A couple inches in Haiti is possible. But whenever it comes to the, you know, the other models, obviously can't look at just one. The European model has this track maybe slightly more to the west here, but still is showing a potential accumulation there. You can see the graph, or you can't see that, but that yellow area here is talking about a foot or greater of rainfall being possible. So we're talking a lot of rain out of the system here is expected. Of course, for another model to look at here, we have the Icon model. You can kind of see, I mean, this guy overall, you know, not as much, but we are still talking, you know, 6 to 10 inches of rainfall still being possible across the south central side here of Dominican Republic. It's going to be bad regardless. That's a lot of rainfall that we are expecting out of this system that needs to be watched. Like I said, you know, the main concern, yes, the winds could be pretty gusty, but it's kind of a similar situation to Hillary, per se. The winds are there. Yes, it could be pretty gusty, but the main concern is flooding. That's what we're seeing here, a similar situation as in areas like the Dominican Republic. So we need to be watching that as well. Okay, so we need to be keeping an eye out there for, obviously, Dominican Republic. Like I said, Haiti will probably deal with a little bit of rainfall, maybe some, you know, localized flooding possible, but it looks like the most of it's going to be in Dominican Republic, which we obviously have got to be looking out there for. And like I said, overall, guys, you know, whenever it comes to the track of this system here, taking a look here back over at Franklin, with the latest GFS model here, you can actually see how this thing, once it pulls, right there, you can see right there, once it goes right over, you know, areas here of the Dominican Republic, it is rapidly set to intensify. According to the GFS here, it does get kind of close to Bermuda, like we were talking about. So there's Bermuda right there. That circle you see, that is Bermuda. According to the American GFS model, like I said, this thing has it getting into the pressure zone of around the 960s, middle to lower 960 millibar here, which, like I said, that will be within the range of major hurricane status. Like I said, to be considered a quote-unquote major hurricane, it has to be at least a Category 3 hurricane or higher. And like I said, with the pressures getting down to 960 millibar zone, that is getting very close to Cat 3 threshold. So that is that. I mean, like I said, it's not just the GFS that supports this. Like I said, we looked at the other models as well. The GFS, the ECMWF, all these models do support this. Like I said, the GFS has it getting a little scarily close to Bermuda there. Once again, it's still not a for sure thing that they're gonna get hit, but it's also still not ruled out that they won't get hit either. So it's a possibility. Bermuda should watch this regardless, because like I was explaining in the beginning of the live stream, there could be some indirect effects as well. Say if it does not directly go over Bermuda, there could be some indirect effects, such as, you know, problems with surf, you know, such as rip currents, maybe even some surging could be possible. I mean, you got to look out there for that. But like I said, if it does directly impact, obviously, then that would bring the winds, the nasty winds. That would bring a lot more surging. It would bring more rip current concerns, and overall, you know, damage would be more of a greater possibility. So, like I said, we'll have to watch out. We'll have to continue monitoring this guy. Whenever it comes to the European model, like how we were talking about here, has it getting somewhat near Bermuda, but mostly to the west. Right there, that's Bermuda. You can see that according to the GFS, the storm was like right in here. European model has it supporting a little bit more to the west, but still in that range of around the 960 millibar zone, which, like I said, is still expected to be right within the threshold of right around major hurricane status. So we'll have to be looking out for this. Like I said, we'll have to be watching this very closely. Let's see here. 71 today in the thumb of Michigan. Overnight low of 52. It's been hot out here. A lot of excessive heat warnings, actually, which I can probably pull that up for you guys, actually, really quickly. Yeah, the excessive heat has been nuts in the mainland U.S. I mean, oh my gosh, look at this, guys. So this is according to the max expected temperatures that were for today. I mean, a lot of the central country here, we're talking 90s to 100 degree zone. Way, way, way too hot. Whenever it comes to the hazards, you can see all of that, all of this kind of purplish color. These are all excessive heat warnings. I mean, literally for the entire state here of like Louisiana, Arkansas, portions here of Oklahoma. I mean, you get it. All of Missouri, all of Illinois, all of Iowa is inside of these excessive heat warnings. We're expecting so much problem, so much issues whenever it comes to heating concerns. And even I'm included, unfortunately, with this heat, the excessive heat there. So kind of sucks, yes, because we have a big ridge across the central U.S. If I was to hop y'all over here to the meso-analysis, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and switch scenes over here. But to take a look at the current conditions in the country right now, across the entirety of the country, to take a look at it, let's see. We do have ourselves, that high pressure that is in place across a lot of the country. We're going to hop y'all over here to that view. So here is the the mean sea level pressure according to the latest analysis. We can see we're talking over we're talking over 1,013 millibars for a lot of these regions here. We've got a big broad area of high pressure right over across the central United States here, which obviously is allowing for this big dome of heat to be drawn its way into the country, which unfortunately sucks. It really unfortunately sucks, but looks like that could last for a little bit. I'm hoping for a cool down here soon. Whenever it comes to, let's see here, we'll take a look at the Climate Prediction Center's outlook here regarding it. Let's go ahead and turn off the day one outlooks here, turn off all that. We don't need any of this, but really quickly, take a look here at the overall forecast regarding the temperature for the 6 to 10 day outlook. It actually looks like things could be starting to cool down here for the next week, which is good across, obviously, the Midwest into the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic portions of the Northeast. It looks like we are finally going to start to cool down for next week. Maybe slightly below normal is expected, so that's good news. However, for the West, Central, mostly still expecting those hot temperatures to remain, unfortunately. Of course, here for the next week following that, whenever it comes to it, it looks like the heat might return for portions of the Midwest here. Kind of normal across the Mid-Atlantic, Ohio Valley, and the Northeast, so it's kind of what we're looking at overall. But yeah, so the next week here, it should be, or for later this week, I should say, it should be cooling down a bit for the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast. That should be good. The overall Climate Prediction Center outlook has that, be below normal. Across the blue, it means you're cooler than normal. Across the red, it means you're hotter than normal. Whenever it comes to the precipitation for this week as well, it looks very, very dry. Very, very dry across portions of the Midwest, upper Midwest. Ohio Valley even, southeast there is pretty, pretty good. Slightly above average precipitation out there. Same thing for the West. Obviously still feeling those effects of Hillary there with all that moisture we got there. Of course, for the week after that, regarding the precipitation for this next week coming up, still expected to be dry across a lot of the central country. So don't expect much rain out of there anytime soon due to that big dome of high pressure we have out across portions of the central country. It is going to be really hot and really dry, unfortunately. But anyways, yeah, that's just a little bit of a dip over into the current patterns we're seeing across the country. But we're going to work our way back over here to the tropics. Like I said, y'all, if y'all are just now joining us, first of all, welcome. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Like I said, we are currently watching Franklin. This is Franklin. We just had Harold impact portions of South Texas earlier this morning. Right now, Harold is no longer a tropical storm, but it is a tropical depression. Sustained winds around 35 miles per hour with gusts getting up around 45. So obviously, we are still talking some pretty gusty winds. Obviously, that rain still is remaining quite intact here for southern Texas as well, starting to move its way into northern Mexico here. But like I said, what we got to really be looking out for is this guy. This guy right here is what we got to be really looking out for. Once again, this is Tropical Storm Franklin. Currently sustained winds of 40 miles per hour with wind gusts getting up to the 50 zones. As it is expected to, maybe slightly strengthen. According to this, it weakens a little bit, but I think it could maybe pick up. Or hold on, it does strengthen a little bit. For a second, I was thinking it was at 50, but no. It's at 40. I was reading the gust, that's why. Sustained here of 40 right now. Like I said, with gusts getting up to 50. Now, it is expected to maybe pick up a little bit of strength here. Sustained 45 by basically early tomorrow morning Eastern time. Maximum wind gusts here up to the, around the 60s here. Obviously, it's going to weaken a bit as it rolls right over Dominican Republic, going to tropical storm status. I would not be surprised if it gets a little bit weaker. It could go to tropical depression, but it's expected to kick back up in the tropical storm status and gradually increase in development as the oceans are very warm out here, as you guys know. The oceans are very, very supportive for tropical development, as well as, there's not much wind shear, which is going to help keep that storm organized, as well as a lot of moisture is available. Like I said, a lot of rain is going to be falling across Dominican Republic. Maybe some areas over a foot of rain could be possible. So we're going to really need to be looking out there for that. So, like I said, the current track is very much unknown. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of disagreements here. We're getting a little bit better agreement since yesterday. Storm obviously is going to be going over Dominican Republic, kind of turning to the northeast, maybe slightly eastward, and then it's going to take a sharp turn and go right to the northwest. And like I said, this could have some impacts on Bermuda down in time. Bermuda needs to watch out if you guys are going on vacation in Bermuda within the next week. Yeah, watch out for this, because this could be a problem. This could be a problem. Like I said, what I was explaining before twice is could either be direct or indirect issues. Either or seems to be quite possible. Like I said, what I mean by direct issues or direct problems is if this storm directly makes its way towards Bermuda, if it goes over Bermuda, it's still not ruled out. It's still possible, but right now there's a lot of unknowns with this part. But what there is known is the amount of strength it could have. The amount of strength is very well noted. The path, not so much. Like I said, the path could either go far right, it could either go far left. But right now, it is expected to gradually push north. We'll give you more updates on this here as the models obviously come to more agreement. They're doing a lot better than what they did yesterday. Yesterday, there was a big gap in which we did not know what was expected to happen here. But now it's looking a lot better. Regarding agreement, but we still have a really big cone of uncertainty here. So the center of the storm could track somewhere inside this red area here. But what I was explaining about, direct impacts with Bermuda, it could go near Bermuda, it could not. I mean, it's still not for sure yet. Which, like I said, also indirect impacts. I mean, say if it does not hit directly over Bermuda, it could cause some indirect issues once again, as maybe some surges, maybe some flooding, rip currents could be a problem. That is something we need to be looking out there for overall. Let's see. Haley says, where is this going? This is going mostly to the north. Like I said, right now, this thing is tracking its way to the north. Expected to go northeast here. This is right across the Caribbean, y'all. There's Cuba. Here's Haiti. There's the Dominican Republic. There's Puerto Rico. There's the Lesser Antilles right here. So you guys can kind of see the overall view. There's Florida, United States. So this thing's expected to go right over Dominican Republic, turn to the east, and then turn back to the northwest here overall. Like I said, this thing could eventually have some impacts, towards Bermuda. I mean, they're already introduced in a possibility of tropical storm force winds. We'll have to continue watching that, but it's a very low probability right now. Let's see here, but that is, that is essentially what we are, that's what we're looking at out there. Let's see. I live in Richmond, Virginia. Do I think it'll hit me? No, I don't think so. Honestly, I think this thing it will most likely bounce its way off here. I mean, it'll mostly go well away from the United States. I mean, most models have it going something like this, kind of up in that track, or mostly more to the east, actually. Kind of more something like this. So, like I said, obviously we have this big high-pressure dome across the country. Like I said, this was causing all this heat and all that issues. That could help steer the storm more to the east, which would be good. Which would definitely be really good. So we'll have to continue watching this. I mean, like I said, I'll go ahead and shoot you all back over here to the models here. Go ahead and switch over here to the GFS first. But yeah, whenever it comes to the system here, like I said, this guy right here, this is the one we're looking at. This is Franklin. This is the one we're watching for. Like I said, we work our way down in time. Obviously, this guy goes right over Dominican Republic. Then it quickly strengthens again and moves its way up to the north. And you can see we have ourselves this big high-pressure dome here that's going to be pushing its way to the east here. This should knock the storm further to the east out there. Obviously, preventing landfall in the United States somewhere. And it should keep it, according to, it should remain south of Nova Scotia, according to the GFS. But then it gets caught up there in the Arctic, the Arctic Circle up there. It gets caught up in that as it works its way up here to the north. So overall, that is essentially what we are seeing with the GFS. Obviously, it's good to take a look at more than just one in particular model there. We work our way down in time with the European model, the ECMWF. This one shows rapid strengthening as we are expecting. We're not expecting hardly any, like I said, we're not expecting hardly any bit of troubles with this system from what it looks like according to intensity. I mean, there's limited amounts of wind shear. There's a lot of warm oceanic temperatures, a lot of moisture with the system, so this thing should undergo some rapid development. I really do believe this thing could eventually go up in the Cat 3+ zone. We'll see how this plays out. But like I said, all the models we looked at, not a single one that we looked at, all 4 models, like I said, the ECMWF, the GFS, the main guys when it comes to models, like I said, the HWRF and the HMON, all those models have this pressure getting down into the 960 millibar zone, which that would be right around Cat 3 standpoint. So it definitely could be getting to major hurricane status. And like I said, obviously whenever it comes to the intensity guidance here too, I know it's a little bit wonky here on the screen, but you can see a gradual development after it goes right over Dominican Republic here. Right after, you can see a slight increase in activity, and then it starts to die down as it goes right over Dominican Republic, and then after that, straight up intensity. Straight up, just ramp up in intensity looks very, very possible. So that's kind of what we're looking at here overall. We're going to go ahead and zoom this back out so if it's screen y'all. But yeah, so according to the European model, this thing does kind of the same here. We have this high pressure dome that moves its way to the east here, kind of pushes that storm out to sea. So as of now, it does not look like this thing, this thing's going to have any main effects for the United States. I think this thing could have some problems across the coastlines, though. Once again, maybe some rip current problems could be a possibility for the East Coast. We'll have to watch it. It's definitely going to probably create some bigger waves as well out there. I mean, we're probably definitely going to feel it. We're probably going to feel it out there in the coastlines, but regarding activity of winds and stuff like that, it should not be anything too crazy. But yeah, so overall, that is that. And of course, this thing moves its way up here to the north east overall. Let's see, Hurricane Jack's Cat 5 possibilities. I don't see any support right now of anything going up, getting above Cat 3 at the moment. I see most of these models, pretty much solid on possible Cat 3 activity, but I don't see anything going above that. If I take a look here back over to the main spaghetti model, speaking of, you can see how grouped they are together now. They're looking a lot better than they did yesterday. But whenever it comes to the, the intensity out of this system, we're going to go actually full screen this for you guys. Actually make it look a little better for y'all. But you can see here that we are expecting gradual development. There's a couple of models that really have this thing taken off here, around that 120 to 144 hour mark from now, which obviously, this thing is expected, according to every model here, to increase in activity. Once again, you see this little spike, see it's a little bit of a bump right here, and it goes down. So it's expected to it's supposed to, kick up a little bit of speed as it gets its way right here towards, obviously, Dominican Republic and maybe even Haiti. It's expected to strengthen a little bit, not too much, nowhere near Cat 1. We were seeing that was a possibility yesterday, but it looks like that's no longer a problem, so that's good. Obviously, a slight uptick in intensity is possible. Then it's supposed to weaken as it goes over land. Obviously, tropical systems do not like going over land here. And of course, after it rolls through back into those warmer waters, it's going to start to pick back up in intensity. And the middle point of all models has this thing doing a skyrocket in activity here. Obviously, expected to get really high up there. Once again, all the models we looked at, the main ones, the GFS, ECMWF, HMON, HWRF, all those models do support this thing getting into the 960s, the 960 millibar zone, which that would, be within the threshold of around Cat 3 expectancy. So definitely I've got to be looking out there for this. I think it's a big problem. I think it could be an issue for the east coast of the United States regarding rip currents, as we were talking about. It could be a really big issue for Bermuda if this thing steers its way towards Bermuda, like the GFS is saying it's possible. The GFS does not like Bermuda, so GFS is saying that it's going to go right through Bermuda, and like I said, just kind of skimming the coast of Bermuda. Possibly hurricane, tropical storm force winds possible according to the GFS, but the European model says nah, that's going to be further west. I don't expect that to do that. So we'll see how that plays out there. Is Florida getting hurricanes? Not anytime soon. Right now, the only systems that we're watching is these guys. Things have, I would say they slightly died down. We had five systems out there, earlier. But we are still watching, obviously, Harold, that's about to be dead, as it's rolling its way to the west here still, going over northern Mexico, southern Texas still. Obviously, we have Franklin. This is the guy we need to watch out for. Once again, Franklin's supposed to do something, kind of funky like this, kind of a track like that. Of course, we have two disturbances. We got these guys out here have a moderate or decent chance of development. 40% chance of this thing becoming a tropical system here for disturbance 1. The low pressure system is located right there where that X is. This is the development region right there, so it could form somewhere in this region. 40% chance in the next 7 days. Of course, to the north of that, we got this guy. 50% chance here of overall development here. So, it's a 50% chance it won't either as of right now. So we'll have to watch it. Another low pressure system expected to develop possibly in the central Atlantic. We'll see. But right now the main concern is Franklin for possible impacts, obviously on Dominican Republic. Can't forget about that. You guys are going to get hit pretty good by this tropical storm, bringing a lot of rainfall. Some areas over a foot could be possible theoretically. And like I said, obviously whenever it comes to it, this could be an issue for Bermuda, as well as the East Coast of the United States. We'll see how that could materialize. Once again, I don't expect this system to make landfall in the East Coast, but I do expect the possibility for rip currents and stronger waves because of the rafts from this system here we'll need to look out for. But overall, that is essentially the overall verdict here. But that's basically what I wanted to go over for today's live stream here. Over here back, actually, probably can switch back over here to the main screen real quickly. Back over here to the Storm Prediction Center overall. Let's go ahead and see your SPC. Whenever it comes to it here, for today, we got a marginal risk. A little shot for tornadoes, a few cyclone-induced tornadoes from Harold possible as it rolls its way, continues rolling its way through. We've seen a couple tornado warnings earlier, but as of right now, no touchdowns have been confirmed. Here for tomorrow, there's a small tornado threat across Michigan. We should probably keep an eye out there for. Overall chance for damaging wind gusts as well, maybe across portions of like northern Minnesota, northern portions of North Dakota, portions of the northern Ohio Valley as well, including northern Ohio. Should keep an eye out there for this. And for the day after that, we have ourselves a big marginal cross portion of the Ohio Valley again for Thursday. We'll have to keep an eye out there for that, and nothing in the extended long range. So everything's looking all right regarding severe weather. No major outbreaks or anything like that's expected anytime soon. Just tomorrow, keep an eye out there for possible tornadoes in Michigan. And overall, really, really low probabilities out there. But all right, well, guys, I think that's going to go ahead and roll off with the update. We talked literally about everything we could talk about here. So if you guys did enjoy it, leave a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you all for being here. Greatly appreciated. Hope you all be safe out there. Once again, if you're in the Dominican Republic or Haiti, hunker down. Be careful out there. Be safe. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to cover this tomorrow morning. We'll see how that goes. Because once again, this is supposed to make landfall pretty early tomorrow. I mean, honestly, I doubt anybody will be even up watching this right now. So I might not. We'll see how that goes. I mean, probably. Knowing the timing, knowing me, probably not. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, if you see me on. I mean, don't be surprised, but if you see me off as well, also don't be surprised. So, like I said, that's that. I mean, I'll give it a 50-50 shot of me being live tomorrow for this. I mean, regardless, I'll be live tomorrow to go over anything else as well. And like I said, obviously, we're going to have to watch the progression even after it rolls through the Dominican Republic for possible impacts on the U.S. East Coast or the, the Bermuda area. Once again, I don't expect this thing to make landfall across the U.S. East Coast. Once again, I just expect possible rip currents, maybe some swelling could be possible across the, U.S. coastline here. We'll have to keep an eye out there for. And like I said, for Bermuda, either indirect or indirect impacts could be possible. So we'll have to watch it. Some models support this thing getting right next to Bermuda. Some of them don't. Really need to work that out. This is why the cone is so big. You guys can see how wide this cone is here. So like I said, the odds are, there's a lot of unknowns here still in its further life. But regardless, like I said, all those main models do support rapid intensification overall. So that is something we need to be looking out there for. But anyways, everybody, well, if y'all have any final questions, feel free to let me know before we head off here. We've been live for over 30 minutes now. So if you guys did enjoy it, once again, please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you've not already. It'd be greatly appreciated. And like I said, guys, if y'all have any questions, feel free to let me know regarding the tropics or anything like that. I will make sure to try to get to everybody as possible. And like I said, tomorrow we'll be doing another either another forecast or coverage maybe for Dominican Republic. Either that depends on how much information I could possibly find as well. If I don't have much info, if I can't grab much data from these regions, I'll probably just skip on that, and we'll continue tracking this thing. Obviously, I'll keep an eye on it over the next while, obviously. But like I said, we'll just have to watch it. I mean, this thing is expected to possibly get pretty strong once it works its way towards Bermuda. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, well, you guys have a wonderful. Looks like nobody has any questions about the tropics. Once again, appreciate everybody being here. Y'all rock. If you've not already, once again, hit that subscribe button, leave a like. It'd be greatly appreciated, my friends. And all right, well, you guys take care. Once again, thank you all for joining us for this evening. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. Sleep good, y'all. Have a good day at work or school tomorrow, or whatever you're doing tomorrow. Just hanging around, whatever you're doing. Have a good day tomorrow, and we'll give you guys some more updates later on tomorrow. All right, y'all. Well, stream's going to head off here, guys, in approximately 2 minutes. So if you guys have anything you want to go ahead and say to your friends and family or anybody in chat, go ahead and say your final goodbyes right now. And all right, my friends, well, you guys take care. We love y'all. Please be safe out there, and we'll catch you guys later on. All right, guys, y'all take care. See you later for tomorrow. Peace out.